Imagine a renowned boxer who dominated the ring, accumulated enormous money, and then experienced a tragic turn of circumstances that shocked his loved ones. That is the story of two-time heavyweight champion George Foreman, whose life saw a dramatic transformation from poverty to luxury to a defeat more devastating than any blow. Hold on tight, for this is a story of tears, grief, and triumph, and you will want to read it all the way through. The terrible wealth of George Foreman, his legacy, and the unanticipated emotional toll it has taken on his family will all be discussed. George Foreman was raised by a single mother and had 6 siblings in Houston's impoverished Fifth Ward, where his story starts. He was a mischievous kid who got into fights, ran the streets, and quit school when he was 15. But everything changed when he learned about boxing. At the age of 19, he won gold at the 1968 Olympics while waving a small American flag in Mexico City as though he controlled the world. In 1973, after turning pro, he won the heavyweight title by defeating Joe Frazier in 2 rounds. The man was a beast in the ring, large, powerful, and menacing. Punching him, however, did not mean death. Foreman faced Muhammad Ali in the well-known Rumble in the Jungle, which was held in 1974, when he suffered a terrible upset and lost the title. It crushed him. He had a near-death experience in the dressing room after losing to Jimmy Young in 1977, a few years later. George said he died that night, had blood on his hands, and heard someone ask him why he was terrified of dying if he believed in God. That moment transformed his life. He quit boxing, became a preacher, and devoted his life to a youth center in Houston and his family. But here's where the money comes in. He was losing the millions he had earned in the ring. By the mid-1980s, George was on the verge of bankruptcy. He invested his $5 million boxing victories in his church and youth center in an effort to continue serving kids the way he used to. Due to his lavish spending and bad investments, he was in danger of losing everything. He says he was more afraid of his mother, wife, kids, and homelessness than he was of fighting. But George was far from done. At the age of 38, he shocked everyone by getting back into the ring. Despite being overweight and being made fun of for 10 years, he kept winning. In 1994, he became the oldest heavyweight champion in history when he fought 45-year-old Michael Moorer. That comeback transcended pride and saved his family's future. The real game changer is the George Foreman Grill. After he won, Moorer was approached by a company about having his name appear on a little cooking appliance. George liked how it took the fat off his burgers, so he didn't think much about it at first. But that grill took off like wildfire. In 1999, his name alone brought in $138 million, with over 100 million sales worldwide, including sponsorships, books, and other assets. His net worth grew to about $300 million. George changed everything. He went from being quite poor to having a fortune in the 9 figures, 12 children, 5 spouses over the years, and his 5th wife, Mary Joan Martelli, who has been with him since 1985. Were all part of his enormous family, which he took care of. He even bought houses and cars for other family members in Houston. Why are you crying then? At the age of 76, George Foreman passed away on March 21, 2025, surrounded by his loved ones. He was a loving father, devoted husband, and proud grand and great-grandfather who lived a purposeful and religious life. According to his family's Instagram post announcing the news, not only is it painful to lose him, but his journey is also a burden. They witnessed him rise from nothing, suffer a terrible fall, rise again, and build this vast riches that would shield them. His cousin Faye Hampton sobbed as she remembered their last "I love you" and said she will miss their church Sundays and discussions. Even though the money is there, they are grieving because of the man, the champion, who gave them everything. Think about this. In order to keep them near, George named all 5 of his children George, along with Monk, Big Wheel, Red, and Little Joey. If one of them rose, he thought they all rose. All 7 of his daughters, from Frida to the adopted Isabella, received the same level of care. That $300 million is more than just cash. It's his way of showing you that, despite his passing, he still cares for you. But it's not money that grieves the family. It's the guy who defended them, both inside and outside the ring. It is a heartbreaking story, to be sure, but it also describes a guy who turned every failure into a triumph and left a legacy that transcends money. The saddest thing is that George's riches shows how much he cared, which is why it hurts, not because it's gone. He went from being a youngster with holes in his shoes to a man who made sure his family never went hungry. This isn't just about a boxer, it's about what we leave behind, so keep reading. George Foreman's life narrative suggests that you might fail, get back up, and produce something lasting. So, what do you think? Which would make you cry more, the wealth or the man? Let me know in the comments section below. Share this with someone who appreciates a good comeback story, and subscribe for more impactful tales. Let's work together to keep George's spirit alive.